Respect Engels. Bye-bye.
Just what kuti lifestyle dawari dia roman waranga
ambe kwando kakilingi marikiki now we double up the hustle for the light is country for plan B nobody can see.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Maggie Forciero. In the news tonight, knife victim succumbs to injuries, Swati Kufut and planned combatants to be unified, Baha'i community commemorates centenary of the passing of Abdul Baha, Agribank offers flexible repayment arrangements, and Roundup Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the Weather. A landlord who was stabbed several times by his tenant last week in Windhoek's Koreangab informal settlement has sadly succumbed to his injuries. The violent altercation, according to witnesses, broke out over outstanding rent payments.
The victim's family has gathered at his home. They're still in shock at his untimely death. Overwhelmed with sadness, the victim's best friend expressed his disappointment.
I'm a friend to the victim that was stabbed. He was stabbed at his own place, which is not safety. And even as I feel right now, I don't have a power. I'm speechless. What I want is only for the police and the government to look at this.
One of the neighbors remembers the victim as a good person, one that barely caused any trouble.
I am General's neighbor. He was a very good person who treated everyone well. It was rare for you to have any confrontation with him. Our hearts are aching very much. How could you kill somebody who helped you with a place to stay for 2 years in such a manner? Our hearts are aching a lot.
General is my boy since we came to Windhoek. We've been living in Windhoek for a long time. He just came here, but we lived together for 8 years. They used to say General steals, but he does not.
After desperately fighting for his life in Katutura State Hospital, Shithigona General Stephanus sadly passed away yesterday. He was stabbed several times, confronting a tenant for outstanding rental fees. Although it's not confirmed, sources say the suspect is in police custody.
After a hard year, we've got the Christmas you deserve with incredible savings. Like Vaseline body lotion or cream for just $31.99 and Lifebuoy soap. Buy any 3 for only $27. Plus, every day, we're giving Lucky Spar Rewards customers their shopping for free. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spar.
Hi there, parents. Do you have primary school kids and want them to get extra quality supplementary lessons to up their grades? Then simply switch to One Africa TV's #LearnOn1, where your kids can get maths, English and science lessons every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. And thanks to NMH's MyZone, these lessons are 100% Namibian. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
The Swati Veterans Committee is looking to register an NGO with the aim to reconcile and restore the dignity of former Swati Kufud and Plan combatants in Namibia.
Chairperson of the committee formed to unite the three groups stressed that the vision is to uplift them from poverty and promote peace.
And it's international law that reconciliation, when two war factions have been fighting, both should be accommodated. It is an international law. So we should not apply laws according to our own wishes and aspirations. We are signatory to international bodies, so we need to adhere to what international laws are stating, that both warring factions should be accommodated. They should be given equal treatment. That's it. You know, if the South African felt it good that to give 36 million to Plan people, that was a token for reconciliation. And I mean, these people could have said, no, we don't want to share that money. It's our own money. But they felt, for the sake of reconciliation, let's share the money. And all other projects that were supposed to be for ex-war veterans seems to have been selectively only for a certain group of people, whereas the other groups were sidelined. So that obviously tells you that people were deliberately just coming up with half-truth to pretend as if there was a real reconciliation. But in the meantime, they were discriminating towards other groups. We are not aiming or intending to take money from people as other groups previously kind of.
No, that's a big no.
We understand that most of the people are unemployed, and our aim is just basically to assist the former fighters. There are some of the former fighters that are currently living from the rubbish bins, which is unacceptable. These are the kind of things that we are trying to address. Some went to post-stress trauma. These are the things that we are trying to look into, and even their families. And some of the soldiers died without any dignity. So these are the kind of things we are looking to.
That vision is for all of us regarding Plan, Kufud and Swati. And based on that, what we have in mind is to help these people, to create an environment where you can uplift these people out of extreme poverty by creating jobs, you know, get donors, help them with their education, and
self-sustainable projects.
Yeah, self-sustainable projects. You see, that's our aim. All ex-fighters and Kufud and even Plan, we accommodate Plan as well. Because on the end of the day, we are all Namibians. And we're going to accommodate all of them. Because we're striving to one goal, and that is to reconcile and to unite us.
The group emphasized that it's not seeking political party affiliation, adding that they have been used by politicians in the past and are strictly there to protect ex-soldiers.
We are not interested in politics whatsoever, meaning we are not interested in political parties, because we've been used for too long. No, that's a big no.
There came a lot of political parties who kind of came into trying to sleep in bed with these former veterans, claiming to giving them some promises of whatever should they win a couple of seats, and it happened in the past. That's why we put it very clear, that category very clear, that we are not going to be allowed to be used by any political party whatsoever.
The Baha'i community in Namibia recently came together to commemorate a unique figure in religious history, Abdul Baha, who served humanity without discrimination of class, culture or religion.
Between 1910 and 1912, he undertook a historic journey to Egypt, Europe and North America. His public talks conveyed the essential message of the Baha'i faith and related it to pressing needs of humanity, emphasizing the cause of peace, racial justice, social reform, and the role of religion in society. He spoke to a range of audiences among the oneness of religion, teaching that Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and the Baha'i all worship but one and the same God, whom they all call by different names. He taught about the eradication of prejudice, the equality of women and men, science and religion, and the investigation of truth, and of course economic justice. He warned prophetically of an impending war in Europe. Abdul Baha challenged his audiences to accept the ideal of the oneness of humanity and to work to make it a reality.
Those in attendance noted that all religions should put their differences aside and work together in what they have in common, making sure that religions across the world bring unity in humanity.
Because we found that there are many different Christian groups, and as you said, Christianity is a majority of people in this country, nearly 99%. All the other religions add up to 3%. The Jews, the Baha'is, the Muslims, the Hindus, the Shintos, we're less than 3%. And we weren't represented on the Council of Churches. And we had a meeting in 2017 where all the churches and all the mosques and all the various religions were invited. And at that meeting there was over 200 representatives from different religions. And at that meeting it was decided that we would make a council where all can be represented. And we elected a council of 9 members, and we met to write and to form a constitution to give each one the right to have their say.
I think all the religions have the right. I mean, you can see here, we have our Baha'i Center, we can have this press conference, but there are other countries where we do not have freedom of religion, unfortunately. But in Namibia, we are really grateful. We are grateful to the government, and one of the laws of the Baha'i faith really is we are obedient to the government. So really the Namibian people have been very open, have been very accommodating. All these activities that we are having, like the children classes, like the junior youth classes, youth gatherings, and what we call study circles, and even our prayer meetings, they are open for everyone. And it's the community that is supporting us. So we really don't have that type of thing here in Namibia, and we are very lucky and grateful. And today also we are celebrating the ascension, or it's not actually celebrating, but it's a commemoration of the ascension of Abdul Baha, which means, Abdul Baha means, as we said, this is the servant of God. So the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith is Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah, the meaning means the glory of God. So you have Judaism, you have Christianity, you have Islam, and the latest religion that came in Iran is the Baha'i faith. And the Baha'i faith teaches 3 onenesses. There's only one God, in whatever name we call him. There's only one human race. We are like the flowers of one garden. We are the drops of one ocean. We are the stars of one heaven. So we are only one race. Black, white, no difference. But there is one very important aspect that he brought also, one teaching, and that is there is only one religion. From the time of Adam up to now, different teachers come in different places, but they all teach us to be good people. They teach us to be spiritual people. There is no religion that comes and says, go kill your brother or something like that, right? So all the religions teach us to be better human beings. And that's why you have the Old Testament, you have the New Testament, you have the Holy Quran, and today you have the Baha'i Testament.
Abdul Baha's life and legacy will be commemorated around the world in Namibia on the 28th of November and during an international gathering at the Baha'is World Center in Haifa, Israel, at which Namibians will attend.
Oranje-Munt, established in 1936, from which point onwards CDM, now Namdeb Diamond Corporation, provided every service, the schooling, infrastructure and entertainment required for the people of the town. The winds of change is blowing over Oranje-Munt, which is no longer a closed town.
This ship was commandeered by King Zhao III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India.
When we were kids, the mine delivered milk, bread, and black paper, black plastic bags for your rubbish, and cleaned your garden, did the maintenance of your house. You had furniture already installed in your house.
We can't wait to get the whole gang together. But until then, let's stay safe.
Agribank has a mandate of lending money to individuals, business entities or financial intermediaries for the promotion of agriculture and related activities in the country. Given the said mandate, loan collection becomes a key priority area of the bank to ensure financial sustainability. As a result of such an efficient and accommodative collection strategy, the bank collected an amount of 365 million Namibia dollars during the 2020-2021 financial year, representing a 13% increase in comparison to the previous year.
Amongst others, the approach involves proactiveness in communicating with a client for early problem and risk identification, flexible workout and repay options and platforms, and close monitoring of loan performance as well as client support services. Over the years, farmers have benefited from this accommodative approach by Agribank. Last year, Agribank extended COVID-19 relief measures to its clients for a period of 1 year, from May 2020 to May 2021. Consequently, 425 clients approached the bank and restructured their loans in line with the extended relief measures, with a total outstanding balance of 836 million Namibian dollars. Agribank continues to assist farmers on case-by-case basis to mitigate the impacts of the ever-changing operating environment and therefore calls upon clients facing difficulties in servicing their loans to proactively approach the bank with alternative repayment arrangements.
Oh hi, let me tell you why you should download the 99FM app. It's 99FM in your pocket, on the go, wherever you are. Never miss your favorite show or song ever again. Now, with live streaming only using 14 megabytes per hour, you can stream all day without worrying about your data. Also, you can stream while using other apps on your phone. How convenient is that? Available for free on all mobile devices. Download it now. 99FM, your inspiration station.
Why wait for Black Friday? Enjoy these fantastic savings at Clicks. Offers valid from 19th to 25th November only. Save 20% on Pampers pants or baby dry disposable nappies jumbo packs. Buy Lifebuoy soap, 12 for $110. Buy Satiskin bubble bath, 3 for $187. Buy Pantene hair care products. Buy one, get one free. Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
In other leading stories, the 193 member states attending the 41st session of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization General Conference adopted by acclamation the Namibian government's proposed resolution, which calls for the adoption of the Windhoek 30 Declaration on Information as a Public Good. The resolution further requested the Director General of UNESCO to ensure that support is given to the activities that will facilitate the achievement of the goals of this declaration. In their comments on the draft declaration, member states thanked Namibia for its timely intervention at a time when there is a noted decline in press freedom globally. They particularly applauded the declaration for its recommendation on developing national media literacy action plans, its emphasis on the safety of journalists and the prominence it gives to the supply, transmission and reception of information as a public good. The Windhoek 30 Declaration was adopted in Namibia on 3rd May 2021 and marked the 30th anniversary of the seminal 1991 Windhoek Declaration on promoting an independent and pluralistic African press. The declaration elaborates on critical new and historic challenges to freedom of expression which require concerted global action by all stakeholders and calls for renewed global commitment to freedom of expression, press freedom and freedom of information. Importantly, it also contains recommendations on promoting transparency and accountability in Internet companies. The Namibia Media Trust is profoundly proud of the Namibian government's commitment to the promotion of press freedom, freedom of expression and access to information, elements that are critical to the achievement and sustainability of development goals. NMT appeals to all UNESCO member states to commit to the implementation of the declaration so that the promotion of a free, independent and pluralistic media becomes the norm, not the exception.
We can't wait to welcome new friends. But until then, let's stay safe.
Joseph Shifeni is standing by for this evening's edition of Business on One.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. The Ministry of Industrialization and Trade is hosting consultative meetings with the public on the draft national policy on sustainable special economic zones. This is part of the Land Ministry's efforts in promoting activities in a geographically defined zone leading to economic growth. According to the Minister of Trade, Lucia Ipumbu, the national policy is aimed at fostering industrialization, investment facilitation, trade and job creation in support of the National Development Plans or NDPs.
There are many countries across the globe that have done so well with this specific arrangement. If we are to look at China as a shining example, there have been some success stories in terms of the developing special economic zones. Those of us that have gotten an opportunity to be in China, as you may be aware, each province in China is designated as per its specific industrial capacity. And it goes further than that to say that certain industry, as per their classification, are based on the natural resources that are to be found in that specific province. And as such, this is what we're looking at going forward, that we scan our country accordingly and we rezone it according to its potential and its maximum potential.
The acting director for industrial development said the Sustainable Special Economic Zone replaces the export processing zone, which was introduced a decade ago to attract foreign investment and facilitate the import of foreign capital and technology. However, it never yielded the desired results and is thus being phased out.
The EPZ regime will be phased out and replaced by the Sustainable Special Economic Zone regime, of which the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade is now seeking for inputs today. The policy framework for the SEZ model will set policy provisions that define the governance structure, applicable investment incentives, and guide the transition from EPZ and manufacturing incentive regime to special economic zone incentives. The SEZ regime will now assist us to strengthen the investment incentive policy function in Namibia.
The ministry already conducted the first engagements earlier this year through written input. The next engagement will take place in Walfish Bay on the 22nd of November. That is all we have for you. Follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
This week on It's a Wrap, you have to get a certificate from a magistrate's court to give you permission, and you must get permission from medical practitioners. With the medical practitioners, two of them can't be working for the same department. They need to be certified. They need to have been practicing for 2 years, and none of those two medical practitioners who give you permission to have the abortion can perform the abortion. And again, you are raped. So you have to go through all of these cumbersome barriers. You have to go through court to register, to file the case. And we do know that a lot of rape is not reported because of fear of filing the case.
Win free airtime with #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Hi, welcome to the program. I'm Debula. So let's get on the road with this. Having someone who likes what you like can be great. It gives you something to chat about and share with each other, yeah? But what if you both want to be at the very top of what you're doing and your main rival is your brother? Can you imagine?
Mount Nyiragongo, located in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. It's found in the Virunga Mountains and located 6 miles from Goma. So what caused Mount Nyiragongo to erupt?
This is Women in African Music virtual exhibition. It was created by the British-Nigerian documentary photographer Michael Tubes.
Women in African Music exhibition is about celebrating women behind the scene and women performing on the stage.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. Since its notice to publish defaulters' names into local newspapers, the Namibia Student Financial Assistance Fund, NSFAF, has received over 1,000 defaulters who have approached the fund for arrangements for repayment. The fund notes that those who fail to repay could face a litigation process through which their assets will be auctioned off to recover the loans. Calvin says the institution must equally share the blame, as it did not devise a mechanism for beneficiaries to repay the money once employed. While Betty says action speaks louder than words. And Namib Mills has announced a price decrease on maize meal products such as Top Score, Number One, Namib Braai Pup, Namib Diamond Maize Rice, Namib Diamond Samp and Ace, with about 4% effective from the 15th of November. Daphne says shops should be informed accordingly. Thumbs up for positive thinking, says Emim. While America says it's a relief for consumers. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on One.
There was a silence that connected us all. But the journey started long before that day.
Coach has a gift to be able to spot talent a mile away.
I think the family kind of feeling makes the athletes feel like they want to perform for him.
This is a match made in heaven. We just become one. When there was difficult times, I said to the girls, we didn't do all this just for one lump to take us off track. We started talking about this journey, and the way we actually painted that journey is almost perfectly the way it ended.
We thought that maybe one of them will make the finals. Those of them made the finals, then the rest is history.
Quiet broken by the firing of the gun, and they're off.
And here comes Christine Bomber in second place. Will they do it today? Oh, of course! 21-81.
This one belongs to us all as one.
We are molded with the utmost intricacy, unique and ever-evolving. But we will always need a guiding hand.
Are you a CMAS member? Did you know that should you need medical treatment, you have access to quality private hospitalization, guaranteed specialist treatment in private hospitals across Namibia with Complement Gap. Complement Gap is a complimentary product for CMAS members only, which covers the shortfall between what CMAS pays and private hospitals charge. You and your family have more than 2 million in medical gap cover per year at a very affordable price. That's not all. You also have access to emergency evacuation within Namibia and $10 million international travel cover for those unforeseen events abroad. Take the financial burden off your shoulders. Invest in your family's health. SMS GAP to 999 555 and we'll contact you. Terms and conditions apply.
After a hard year, we've got the Christmas you deserve with incredible savings. Like Sunlight dishwashing liquid refill for only $20.99 and 1 liter Spa 100% fruit juice for just $15.99. Plus, every day, we're giving Lucky Spa Rewards customers their shopping for free. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spa.
One Africa Television sa sida one ken tlisa hura thakhasen siske one wana sida ku aba cameraman sida ke kaise sas eyangisa kainka hanais One Africa Television.
Goes down smoothly. Tafolaga, Namibian like you.
Time now for today's sports update with Castro Ulumbu.
Welcome to Sports on One. I'm your host Castro Ulumbu. Born and raised in the coastal town of Walvis Bay, former 11 Arrows, Blue Waters and Brave Warriors international #1 goalkeeper Emmanuel Gottlieb now teaches football at grassroots level. Today on One Sports has more on this story.
We learn a lot here at this academy. We learn a lot of values like honesty, loyalty, not to steal our things, how to act with teammates. We make a lot of friends here. It makes us refresh our minds when we come to train here. And the thing I like about this academy is that it trains me a lot in my skills. My coach, he makes me play very well every game we play.
I started here in April and I have learned how to control a ball. I was not having ball control. And I learned many kinds of things here. How to overlap, how to pass a ball, and how to control it. As a coach teaching us manners, how to learn, how to discipline ourselves, and how to respect elders.
Gottlieb is one of the first Namibian international goalkeepers to have coached professionally in the South African Soccer League when he had stints with Maritzburg United FC and Black Leopards FC. Started this year, the Emmanuel Sparks Gottlieb School of Excellence has so far catered for more than 50 kids from the ages of 9 years. Some of the challenges Gottlieb faces is getting his players proper training gear, as some kids struggle to train with the right soccer boots.
We start in the beginning of this year. We are new. We are still growing. So we cater for all the ages from under 9 to under 20. This initiative is really to groom our future stars. So as we know that other guys become older, and we need to produce, and our main objective is to produce future national players. We include also social life, well-being of the players. So we educate them. So it's not all about soccer. So we discipline and so a lot of things. Our main challenges is we are looking for potential sponsors. As you can see, our boys, we are really struggling. Most of them, they don't even can afford to buy soccer shoes. So we want to cater for those players. So, but for now, we challenge or we invite potential sponsors to come on board and support us.
Some of his products are South African-based goalkeepers Maximilian Baeva and Lloyd Kadhapwa, the Magnet Ronnie Kanalelo, Etiel Mbaha, Ephraim Chihonge and Abisai Shiningayamwe. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again next week for Sports on One. And don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks a lot, Castro. Time now for the weather forecast.
Now a look at the weather forecast. But first, an advisory from the Windhoek Met office. Cooler air is expected in the south and the extreme west on Sunday and Monday. The interior will be partly cloudy and hot to very hot in the north and the Karas region, with a few to isolated thundershowers in the extreme northeast and the extreme southwest. Elsewhere, sunny and hot to very hot. A fresh to strong westerly wind in the interior. The coast will be partly cloudy and cool, with a few showers over the central and southern coastal areas in places. Dust storms are most likely over the southern coastal areas at times. And wind will be moderate to strong southerly to southwesterly.
That is all we have for you. You can join us again for a repeat at 9:30 and the Omnibus tomorrow from 9 to 2. From me, Maggie Forciano, and the rest of the team, till next time, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future. A hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Hand washing is one of the most effective ways of preventing the spread of germs. Wash your hands regularly with soap and hot water, scrubbing your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. Hand sanitizers can be used but are not recommended as a substitute for hand washing. Use sanitizers in addition to hand washing or in a situation where soap and water are not available. To avoid spreading germs, limit sharing of personal items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Your skin acts as a barrier to germs, but your eyes, nose, and mouth are more vulnerable. Wash your hands thoroughly before touching your face, eating, or drinking. Avoid physical contact with others, including handshakes, fist bumps, high fives, hugs, and kisses. Social distancing is deliberately increasing the physical space between people to avoid spreading germs. While regulations may vary by country or area, the best guideline for social distancing is to maintain a distance of 6 feet from others. Germs can travel through the air from one person to another. If you sneeze or cough, do so into a tissue or the inside of your elbow to prevent the spread of germs. Avoid contact with ill individuals and insist they isolate themselves until they have recovered and are symptom-free. Clean and sanitize frequently touched common surfaces and high-traffic areas in your home and workplace several times a day. Share these guidelines with others and help prevent the spread of illness and maintain a healthy environment. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure.
The coronavirus that causes COVID-19 has changed since the pandemic started. So does this mean the virus has become more dangerous? Scientists have discovered thousands of mutations to the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus. Most mutations only lead to small changes, but scientists believe one, called D614G, may have made it easier for the virus to infect human cells. This mutation most likely emerged after the initial outbreak in China, and it spread fast after the virus arrived in Europe. By the end of June, the D614G mutation was found in almost all samples of the virus worldwide. Scientists believe this is due to amino acid changes in the virus's spike proteins, improving its ability to infect human cells. Some studies have found more spikes on viruses with this mutation. These spikes latch onto receptors on the surface of our cells. They then transfer the virus's genetic material, called RNA, inside. Being inside the host cell allows the virus to make many copies of itself. Random errors sometimes happen in the copying process, which cause mutations. Although the full effects of D614G are still unclear, some studies suggest that the mutated virus might be more transmissible than the original. This could mean more people getting sick and at a faster rate. Despite this, there isn't any evidence that the disease itself has become more severe. Scientists are worried about mutations possibly increasing the risk of reinfection. Hong Kong reported what could be the first case of virus reinfection on the 24th of August. A healthy man in his 30s is thought to have caught the virus again 4.5 months after he first got sick. During this time, mutations developed and new variants of the virus emerged. Some experts believe these changes may have made reinfections more likely. Mutations are common over the course of a pandemic. New flu vaccines are needed every winter to keep up with genetic changes to the flu virus. If a coronavirus vaccine is found, it could require regular booster jabs. Mutations won't happen overnight, and the coronavirus is mutating slower than the flu virus. But it's important for scientists to keep a close eye on how the virus changes over time. Could we be hearing more about other mutations in the future?
We know the world is a crazy place right now, but don't panic. Take a breath, slow down, or better yet, stop completely. We'll still be here when everything settles down. In this time of uncertainty, look to nature. She has all the answers, you know. We're not only giving ourselves time to reset, we're giving nature time to restore, revive, restart. We're saving ourselves and we're saving the world. Stay home now so that we can welcome you to Namibia again soon. Yes, the world's a crazy place right now, but don't despair. Find the joy, cherish hope, breathe. Take a moment, take a few, and someday soon you'll once again be able to stare in wonder at this magnificent view. The world's a crazy place right now, but don't worry, we'll still be here. We'll see you again soon.
The mighty Zambezi River, the longest east-flowing river in Africa, a river that flows through 6 countries, home to a plethora of wild species of fauna and flora, a lifeline for many people whose livelihoods are dependent on the abundance the river brings. Globally, communities who live along rivers rely on these rivers to survive. Communities living along the Zambezi call it the river of life, bringing water for their crops and fish as their main protein source. In Namibia, a country situated in sub-Saharan Africa, the Zambezi River sits at the heart of Kaza, the Kavango-Zambezi Trans-Frontier Conservation Area, which is one of the greatest conservation areas on Earth, a stronghold for very many of our most iconic wildlife. I'm right now where the river forms the border between Namibia and Zambia. This enormous water body provides sustenance to a wide array of wildlife, bird and fish species. It's also a lifeline for human beings.
The same communities are the people also who are doing the illegal activities.
The price of fishing has gone up because fish has become scarce.
The more they finish us, the more our life gets harder and harder.
These days, it is very rare to get a big bream unless in those protected areas.
A small group of community members, together with non-governmental organizations like Namibia Nature Foundation, are fighting back.
We have to start thinking out of the box, to be honest, because what's going to happen is going to be out of this box that we haven't seen before.
By creating protected areas, monitoring and patrolling, fish stocks have a chance at recovery. These are the stories of the people fighting for the continued existence of their communities. These are the last defenders.
Struggling with no food, no what. But we didn't stop. If I don't do it, our young children, they'll never know the fish.
India's Ranthambore Reserve in Rajasthan is home to the rare Bengal tigers. Every year, John Isaac, an Indian-born photographer, travels from New York City to document the lives of these majestic animals.
In the last 10 years, I think my interest has grown tenfold, and I'm very particular about the survival of the tigers.
His goal is to make sure that people everywhere know about the grave danger Bengal tigers face: extinction. John holds seminars and photographic exhibitions from his visits to Ranthambore to raise awareness of the plight of these tigers. He's currently working on a book to document their dilemma due to an increasing human population encroaching on their territory. According to John and wildlife experts, each tiger needs as much as 9 square kilometers to survive, just under 4 square miles. The relationship between tigers and people has always been difficult, but now, with much less territory to roam, tigers often wander into human settlements.
The conflict between the villagers and the tigers has always been there, and then government tries to compensate. If a tiger kills a goat or a cow, they pay a certain amount to the villagers.
In the past, tigers used migration corridors or routes followed by wildlife for travel between summer and winter habitats. Now these pathways have been taken over by people who use them as living quarters and to reap firewood.
We are trying to work with the communities living around and trying to reduce their forest dependency so that we can conserve this corridor patch for the smooth and easy movement of tigers.
Jamuna Devi, a farmer, lives near one of the migratory corridors. She used to depend on the forest for grazing pastures. Now, thanks to a World Wildlife Fund initiative, Jamuna no longer needs to rely on the forest for her family's survival. The secret introducing new alternative crops closer to her home.
गई साल बोया हमने खुद ने और ये तो अभी यही साल बोया है ये आया होया कांदा है हम 25 रोज को तो तारीख को तो बोया ही है और रोज में अंतर तो आगा भूलने लगा.
The success of this project has led to even more changes. Jamuna decided to plant fodder for her cattle on her excess land to further preserve the habitat of the tigers. She has also switched to cooking gas so that she doesn't have to collect forest wood for fuel.
जंगल में सब दुनिया ने जावे छोड़ दिया तो सब बे होगी कोई काम नहीं करा लकड़ी को भी नहीं करा जंगल में जाने से भी परेशान है दुनिया. गैस भेज दिया सबन के घर घर में वे सभी सिलेंडर पकड़ते और रुपया को कोई समझते ही नहीं है. अब भीतर भरा लावा.
Climate change also has a direct impact on the habitat of tigers.
The last 2 or 3 years, they say, there's been a drought. The rains have not been regular.
Climate change is a serious problem in this country, even it's in the continent. So keeping these forest areas alive and protected is the only solution. This year we have raised a nursery of 10,000 saplings. Forest department have shown their interest. They bought around 2,000-3,000 saplings.
The idea is to plant new trees to replace those lost to severe weather conditions and human activity. Poaching used to be a major threat to Bengal tigers. But thankfully, the number of big cats killed by poachers has plummeted due to measures implemented by law enforcement agencies, resulting in less demand for tiger products. Especially the introduction of camera traps and digital apps, which automatically take photos of moving tigers and suspicious persons moving around in the forest.
Every time I hear something like that, I feel so good, in some ways, some things are working. And so this is what drives me to come and do this. In my lifetime, if the tigers are extinct, I don't know how I'll handle that.
This report was produced by Mary Ferreira for the United Nations.
Hi beautiful souls, this is Nikita Winkler and I am here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. In this session, we will be doing a full body stretch routine on the mat. Please remember that this is just a demonstration video, so once your body knows what it's doing, take your time and do a few more repetitions. So let's get started. So we're going to start on all fours, making sure that the shoulders are in line with the wrists so that the arms are not far out or too close to the body, and then that the hips are in line with the knees, hip width apart. In this position, we're going to go into a cat-cow stretch. Inhale, bring the head towards the tailbone. And exhale, bring the hips and the head towards each other, tucking the chin in, pulling into the back. And again, inhale, head towards tailbone, arch the back. Exhale. Bring the chin in as well as the hips pulling into the back. From here, just drop your tailbone onto your heels. Reach the arms into this child pose resting position. Once you feel ready, come back up onto all fours. Plant your palms, tuck your toes, and lift your hips into the sky. In this downward dog position, we want to
plant the heels down into the mat and press the chest towards the legs. From here, you're going to go up onto your toes. You're going to bring the hips forward, zip the core, roll the spine all the way until the hips reach the floor. Shoulders are pulling down and back. Head is up in the seal pose. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees, take